Chapter 17. Chapter 17 is talking about the different methods of delivery. Now, the methods of delivery that we're going to focus on, there are 4 methods of delivery that we will focus on today. But before that, just think about a good speech that you have heard. One of the number one things that makes a speech sound good is that the speaker sounds very natural. They may have practiced that speech many times, but if you strive for naturalness, that really helps the audience to feel a part of what you're doing. So that's the number one tip in terms of methods of delivery. The other thing is that you should show some enthusiasm. If you don't seem to care about your topic, then why should the audience? You have to project a sense of confidence and passion and excitement for your topic. So you don't want to kind of drone on and sound really dry and boring like this. You want to sound perky and excited without going over the top. You don't want to sound like a Disney caricature, but you do want to sound that you know what you're talking about and that you are enthusiastic about sharing that information with the audience. So, Chapter 17 will go over 4 methods of delivery. Each one is a different style. Each one has some pros and cons to it, and so we'll go through that with each type. The first type of the method of delivery is a manuscript speech. Now, a manuscript speech means that you write out verbatim or word for word everything that you plan on saying. This can work for very experienced speakers, or it can work if you really have to portray an exact message. But most times, and especially in a speech class, you do not want to give a manuscript speech. The reason is you will be so tied to the words on that page that it will take away from your ability to connect with the audience and make eye contact. All right, method number 2 is memory. Now, you would think that that would be a good way to go. You don't have to read from the paper as in a manuscript. Instead, you're able to look directly at the audience, and that is true about memory. The problem occurs when it sounds so rehearsed and a bit robotic, and that doesn't sound natural, which is what you're going for. So it is recommended that you only memorize short portions, perhaps a quote or maybe an important element of your speech. Memorize those short snippets, but don't memorize, 5 minutes worth of material or 10 minutes worth of material. You could say the same thing many different ways. As long as you know those key points, you don't have to memorize word for word. All right, the third method of delivery is called impromptu speaking. Now, impromptu speaking means that you were just asked to give a speech off the cuff or, just kind of on the spot. This does happen sometimes. Like, for example, if somebody threw you a surprise party or they honored you with an award that you were unaware of. Somebody may ask you to, do you have anything to say? And that is when we would call that an impromptu speech. Those speeches just come from the heart. You're sharing what it is that you would like to say, but you have not thought it out. It's not well planned out. And those speeches are appropriate in those different situations. However, it is not appropriate to give an impromptu speech for something that you've had advance notice about, such as your speeches in this class. Lastly, let's talk about the 4th method of delivery, which is extemporaneous speaking. Okay, it's a big word, but all it means is extemporaneous speaking is when you share your ideas and you have your main points really down, but you are able to explain them in a variety of ways. So if I were to give the same speech to 4 different people, I might say it a little bit differently each time. because I'm speaking extemporaneously. I have learned my key points, the things that I must say to the audience. I've learned those, I've rehearsed those, but I can give different examples, different stories. I can mix up the speech in the way that I deliver it because I know the core message very well. That is what you are striving for. Your goal in this class is to get to the place where you can speak extemporaneously. So again, the 4 methods of delivery are manuscript, memory, impromptu, and extemporaneous. I hope to hear some extemporaneous speeches.